Hey folks, I'm shooting a bunch of videos today. I think I'll string them all together. So if I'm repeating myself about, hey, I'm cutting crown today, it's because it's all one day that I'm doing this on this job site. So in any case, I just wanted to show a quick trick that I picked up from Ron that I had not used before. With all the trim that I've done, with all the crown that I've installed, I actually had not really done it this way. For me, I think it was more installation, piece by piece by piece, put one piece in, make a measurement, go down, cut it, fit it, measure the next piece. So it was very much like that because I frankly wasn't worried. I was working for somebody else and that's what they told me to do, and that's how I learned how to do it. I kept on doing it. Ron and others, now that I've actually gotten on YouTube, are cutting almost all, if not all of their, say, crown pieces or trim pieces all at once. So they make a bunch of measurements, they come down to the saw, they cut it all, they cope it, they do whatever they need to do, they go back up and they install it. Every once in a while there's a miscut, or like not a miscut, but a recut, just kind of dialing it in. Well, here's one of the things that I pulled out. So I have my crown in here. I'm doing a left cope and a butt cut, so cope and a butt. And so here's my piece. I'm going to flip this around. And so here is what I will cope. So that material will get coped out. Remember, this is the top, that's the bottom. This represents the wall, and the deck of the saw represents the ceiling. And this is the jig that I'm using just to create that spring angle, so I know that this is seated correctly for all cuts. Now, before I cut this tip off to give me the square edge that will fit into the piece that is already installed, with the full measurement from wall, from wall to wall, basically the idea is hook it there, come down here, make your mark. Mine happens to be 57 5/8, and that is the distance between the two walls. Now, when I cut this off as a flush cut, just right to there, and then the rest of this will get trimmed out when I do the cope, then that'll actually just butt up against the piece, but I have the full measurement. I don't have to play numbers. I don't have to go remeasure because the piece is in already. So that's just a nice little trick in that, all measurements are from wall to wall. You don't have to allow for crown because with a full measurement and nipping that off, you have accounted for the crown that would then be installed. So installed, here you see that crown piece that I had down onto the miter box, and you can see the tight cope. And of course, with this piece on the left in, then you get that material that needs to be removed, so that's why you cut the tip off of the piece on the miter stand. And without cutting that tip off, though, you get from that corner to that corner, kind of wall to wall, if you will, you get that entire measurement without having to play math tricks or install the piece on the left prior to taking a measurement for the piece that's sitting right in front of us. And so I really like that tip a lot. That has just really increased my game and allowed me not to have to cut, fit, cut, fit, cut, fit. That I can just take all of my measurements, go down and make cuts. And I can do this with wall trim as well and with shoe mold baseboard. Trick method, I guess, is really what it is. I love learning new things. I've learned that a while ago, but I just happened to think about, oh, I'm shooting video today, so let's go ahead and just mention that. So thank you very much to all of you who are giving me all these cool tips and tricks and ways to just be better at what I do, because what I do is okay. And I've always got a lot of room for improvement, and I'm looking to improve. So there's a tip that I learned from a lot of people on YouTube, Ron and others included, who do a lot of trim. And so thank you for that, and just wanted to pass that tip along.